There's one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power.
Good morning. Such is the nature of life that all it asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. You are that opportunity, and so am I. And so it is. Welcome, everyone, to CSL Midtown, coming to you live this morning from Atlanta, Georgia. We are so glad that you have joined us today, and we welcome all people, no matter who you are or where you are in your life. We welcome you, whether you're listening online live right now or whether you're listening to our recording. We welcome you. We are a very diverse, beautiful center, and we reflect that as life is also diverse and beautiful. So we welcome you, whatever path brought you here this morning. Know that you are in the right place and that this is the right time for you. And we know that you are an individual expression of the divine life in which we all live. So we welcome you to participate here today and to become part of this spiritual community. We hope that those of you who are watching our broadcast on social media will share this with your friends. For a better understanding of who we are and what we teach, let's listen now to the Declaration of Principles as written by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes.
A few of the Declaration of Principles we live by.
I believe in one God, one absolute power, and first cause to all things.
I believe that this power is perfect love, and it creates out of a desire to express love.
I believe all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience.
I believe in the unity of all life, and the immortality of the individual soul forever unfolding.
I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of God to all.
And so it is.
So grateful, hey.
Check out the full declaration is on our website at cslmidtown.org. My name is Judy Aehle, and I'm the moderator and practitioner for today's service. Today, we continue with this month's theme, Transcendent Purpose, and this week's theme is Elevation of Awareness. And the affirmation is, I elevate my awareness through practicing the presence of God. I think we are divine beings here to serve a higher purpose in life. Now, how do we find our higher purpose? I think we have many purposes that fit the many aspects of our lives. And I think the way to find that higher purpose is to listen from within, to hear the messages of spirit to guide our path. Doing this is a way to elevate our awareness. Let's face it, we are living a human experience as a spiritual being. I have to trust that my divine purpose or process is ever unfolding. If we remain centered, affirming that God is all there is, regardless of appearances, we see beyond obstacles and consistently focus on the good. Divine truth is our path and purpose is our guide. What is your inner calling? We can listen deeply to spirit within us. We listen to our intuitive self, to what beckons us through our passions, through our curiosities, those persistent thoughts that refuse to let us go. This is our message. This is our inner calling. When we respond to Spirit's call, divine guidance will unfold. Synchronicities start to happen, leading us on a specific path. The call, whatever it is, a job, a change in job, a trip, a love, a new project, a school, whatever. The more we nurture our spiritual attunement, the clearer the call becomes. And we recognize those divine nudges and we respond to them. So to me, this is the beginning of elevating our awareness. After all that Spirit asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. And you are that opportunity, and so am I. And so it is. I want to lead us now in affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment, whatever you want to call it. So let's just allow ourselves to take a few moments to breathe and to be fully present right here in this moment. This is our moment. This is the moment. The present moment is all that we really have. And so if you'll take some nice, slow, deep breaths, allowing your focus to be right here and right now, letting go of what you've been thinking about, what you've just done, what you might be doing later today. Let all those thoughts just melt away and know the truth. Please accept this prayer, this treatment for yourself right here and right now. I know that there is one power, one presence, one goodness, one life, one love, one power, one peace. That all of life is this one, this holy one, this goodness. And I know that I am, and that we are each all ever connected to this one. We are filled with this presence. We are filled with this power. We are in it. It is in us. And therefore, we know that life is good, that we are lights of we are beings of light in the world, and that we bring light into the world because we recognize, accept, and know our oneness with this presence. As we allow this presence to express in our life, we have lives that are full of love, that our physical health, our natural state of being is vibrant health, down to very minute cellular level, that all is well with us, that we bring this presence of peace and love and harmony into every situation that we walk into every interaction that we have with our family members, with people out in the world, with our neighbors, with our friends, that we bring this light, that we bring this love wherever we are, and that this is good. And that as we know that we are connected with this presence and this power, that there are unlimited opportunities to express this goodness. There are unlimited opportunities to create art, to create new ideas, to express ourselves in ways that enhance and bring beauty and justice and joy and peace and goodness to the world. That we are each very important and play an important role in the unfoldment of good in the world. So I'm just grateful for knowing this. We turn away from any idea of lack, limitation, worry, fear, and smallness of any way. And instead know that it is our authentic selves, that inner self that we listen to, that is clearly who we are, that isn't out there just to please other people or to do things that we think look right or are right, but instead we listen to that authentic wholeness within ourselves to guide and direct our lives. This is a truth of who we are. I'm looking forward to this service today. I know that being here blesses each person who listens, and each person hears something that allows them to deepen their spiritual awareness of their oneness with this power and with this presence. I'm grateful for being here today. I release this treatment now, knowing that it is so, and so it is. Beautiful message. All right. Well, this Sunday, we would like to welcome back to CSL Midtown Dr. Harry Morgan Moses and his beautiful puppy. Anyway, he is a renowned author, speaker, actor, and leader in the New Thought movement. Dr. Harry has also been deeply involved in Centers for Spiritual Living for many years, and he's joining us today from, I don't know if I'm saying this right, is it Topanga, California? Topanga. We are so looking forward to having you today and hearing your message. Thank you for being here. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Judy, and thank you for the lovely treatment. It's always fun, like when I see like the Declaration of Principles or go by or any of those things. You know, when something within you goes, I agree with all that. That's right. Yeah. That's always a nice thing. So today's talk. I'm just looking here at the clock. Okay. Today's talk is entitled The Responsibilities of Maintenance and Repair. And I think that, you know, many of us emerged from the Judeo-Christian ethic. And that whole idea is that there's an avatar. Somebody will come to save the world. And the truth is, what we really learn is that who we are as an immortal spiritual being, superior to our mind, to our body, and to our experience, and that the only one that really needs to be saved, or the only thing that needs to be saved, is the beauty and the glory of who you really are. Ernest Holmes, the great philosopher from the last century, said the I am is the emblem of eternity. And I love that expression. It goes way back to the Old Testament when Moses was asked, you know, he asked God, by what authority should I tell them that I'm supposed to free the Israelites? And the voice from on high said, tell them I am that I am. And what that turns us into is somebody who reflects on this I am that I am an immortal spiritual being. Now, I also have this personal side of myself, right? The personal side of myself is what we call the ego. It's how I have defined myself. But what I am is always greater than any definition that I have made of myself. And that's really where we put our attention. If I'm an immortal spiritual being, I love the line also from Dr. Holmes. It says, we were born to have fun living, to constantly commune with the power that is within and around us, and to grow and expand forever. In other words, as we become more and more in tune with who and what we are, we become more aware of this great gift of life that I am, and we begin to share that great gift. This is Casper. He's a big star on Coffee with Casper, so he thinks every time I open the computer, he should be up here and say hello. So thank you for saying hello. So when we begin to say, well, if I'm an immortal spiritual being, and I love that song, you know, Bubbles Up. That was Jimmy's last song that he wrote, having lived a very wonderful and powerful life. But what he knows is from that experience that as a diver, that the bubbles are always going to show you the right way, right? As we lift ourselves up, that's why we've always referred to up, right? The heavens. As we lift ourselves up, we're going the right way. And so if we get stuck in, as the songwriter just said, in any kind of melancholy, it's because we let the door into that. And now we have to return to the place of joy, to have fun living. The joy is one of the great qualities of life, that you're supposed to have fun. Like, how many times have you had a good laugh, when you laugh so hard that you already know that made you feel better, right? Laughter, joy is a quality of God. Aehle Desjardins said, joy is the infallible sign of the presence of God. So, you know, we in New Thought, we have learned this idea of the principle of love and law, right? That we didn't come to save the world. We came to awaken to our own divinity and support everyone else in the awakening to their own divinity. Because the more you wake up to the I am that I am, to this part of me that is love and joy and wisdom and peace and poise and power and grace and magnificence and belonging, the more I wake up to that, the more I experience in my life. And then the more of that I'm able to vibrate out. I love this idea that we live in a vibrational universe. This is just one set of Tibetan bells. And you hear that sound, that tone goes on. It just keeps going, even though I just clicked them once, right? Well, that's what we are. We're vibrational beings, and we're all of us connected to the law of the circle, that we live in a universe, and the impulsion is love. It gives of itself to itself through itself, so that we might discover itself and discover the glory of what it is to be a human being fully alive. St. Ignatius says, the glory of God is a human being fully alive. So if we were able to all the time rely on our high self, all the time connect in it, that's why we have spiritual practice. We have spiritual practice so that we can remind ourselves every day of this greater truth of who we are. Now, I started doing Coffee with Casper 5.5 years ago, a little more than that now, because I noticed in the scare around the COVID that my wife and I were connected to our children. We've taught them about the idea that they're immortal beings, that there's a white light that can cover and surround them and guide them and keep them safe, and that light is always there, even if we forget for a moment and we have to remember bubbles up. The bubbles are going to show us the way, right? That the higher thought will always show us the right way. So that's why I did Coffee with Casper, was I knew we were having a good life, living in love despite all of the fear that's around. Well, now we're going in waves, right? The race is going in waves. It goes up and down. The pendulum swims this way, the pendulum swims that way. And sometimes when that pendulum is swinging in terms of what the race is doing, we become intimidated or frightened by the news of the day. And I read 2 newspapers deliberately so that I'm aware of the news of the day. And then I ground myself in my spiritual practice, that I am that I am. I am love, I am light, I am truth, I am wisdom, I am peace, I am poise, I am balance, I am harmony, I am wholeness. The pattern of who I am is whole, complete, and perfect. And once in a while, I will fall. And that's like, the story of the ice skaters, right? How many times have you seen an ice skater in the middle of their beautiful routine, do all of a sudden jump and do a triple Lutz or whatever they call those things, and then they fall. And as soon as we see them fall, we go, oh, it's shocking to the system, even as an observer. But what do? We look at the ice skater and we go, okay, get up. And they get up and they finish the routine. So as we're growing in our awareness of who and what we are, we're going to fall down occasionally. We're going to be less than our high self would like us to be. We're going to be less than unconditionally loving, or less than present to the goodness of God or the goodness of Spirit itself in, around, and through us. Sometimes we will fall into that melancholy because we let it in, right? Because there's all of this stuff going on around us. So I wanted to talk about the responsibilities of maintenance and repair, because in the physical world, for example, a car or a boat, or it can only go or a computer or a telephone, doesn't matter. It can only go as high as the intelligence that went in to create it, right? So when you're talking about maintaining a car, it's maintaining it so that those specifications that it was designed can continue to operate for you. And if you don't do those maintenance things, then it will be less than that idea as the best idea that they had so far about that car, about that boat, about that airplane, about whatever the object is that humans designed. It can only go as high as that level of intelligence at the time it was designed happened, right? So the same is true from a human point of view. The designer is the giver of the overall design, God, right? The giver of the whole thing, that which spins the planets, causes a liver to live, a kidney to kid, a heartbeat to beat, a life force to be a life force. All of that is given to us from a place of design that is much more spectacular than most of us have an awareness of. One of my grandchildren is now a senior in college, and she's doing physiology. And she says, physiology is hard. I said, isn't it amazing how complicated and intricate the human body is? And the more you know about it, the more there is to know about it. That's why to get some credentials, it takes 7, 8, or 10 years in order to help people with all of that complicated stuff. But underneath, there's a pattern of wholeness, a design on high. And we can bypass having to know all the things about the design to simply know that it was designed, that this, the Tibetans say, the Tibetan Book of the Dead says, I came from the light, I put on a coat of skins, and I will return to the light. Joel Goldsmith, the metaphysician, the New Thought metaphysician, said we are but a parenthesis in eternity, right? We come from the light, we take parentheses called a lifetime, and we return to the light, right? And hopefully in that process, we've learned more about love, we've learned more about kindness, we've learned more about the responsibilities that we have as spiritual beings, and therefore we constantly commune and grow and expand, right? And the universe wants you to know who and what you are, the greatness and the magnificence of the I am that you are, because the I am that I am and the I am that you are is that same I am, expressing itself uniquely as each one of us. So when we have a daily practice, you know, in the old days before we were the Centers for Spiritual Living, we were called the Church of Religious Science. And Ernest Holmes, the philosopher, said there's only two things that make you a good religious scientist. One, daily we meditate. Daily we take time to quiet the mind, to explore this infinite possibility of the I am that I am, to be grateful for this possibility, to be grateful for all of the love and the light and the truth that is already birthed into your life, right? And to constantly play that against the demands of whatever our human experience are. So when I say we're responsible for the maintenance of our spiritual life, we're responsible to be in tune with the infinite if we would like the joy of the infinite to be in us. We're responsible for a practice that causes us to look at the affirmative side of life, knowing that there is a law of vibration, because that's really the thing that separates us as metaphysicians. We, as awakening spiritual beings, we know that there is a law of vibration, that the sum total of everything I think, say, and do creates a vibration, which is going into what we call the law of mind or the law of the circle, meaning that which comes from me returns to me as the multiple aspects of my experience, the multiple dimensions and aspects of my experience. So when we look at our lives and the waves are too rough because the surface is too rough, then we must return to the deeper and higher spot within us where that peace dwells, where that love dwells, where that joy dwells, where that appreciation dwells, and focus on those things, love and joy and appreciation and the beauty that is all around us. That's why very often we're reminded to take walks in nature, to be aware of the trees, to go swimming in the lakes or the ponds or the oceans, to be aware of the beauty of nature and the harmony in nature all around us. The Beatles, a long time ago, wrote a song about a lovely English garden. And many years ago, I was touring and doing workshops and support groups and private counseling sessions with people. And I was in England in a full house situation, a full day situation where they got me an office to operate from that was in this beautiful English garden. It happened to be a beautiful weather that time of year. It was summertime in England. And the garden with all of these different kinds of plants and flowers and sunshine taking off them, there weren't any competition. All of that diversity was there in that beautiful English garden in the sun. And no one flower or one plant trying to be greater than any other, but each plant trying to be its own unique expression of the beauty that is already innately within it. And obviously the caregiver of this garden had nurtured it in such a way where you could see how all of that worked harmoniously together. This is also true if you go into a forest, which doesn't have a gardener. And we begin to see all of these things working beautifully together. And that's one way that the Spirit guides us to understand that we belong to a great and beautiful harmony. So we're not responsible. I cannot fix all the challenges of in the world. I certainly don't believe in war. I don't believe in prejudice. I don't believe in discrimination. I believe in inclusion. I believe that love is the guiding power of the universe. I believe in victory and equality and prosperity and a higher order of being. And I recognize that everybody doesn't see it that way. But it's up to me to be the one who sees it that way. That's my responsibility in terms of maintenance. I must guide my awareness and my attitudes and my thinking toward the actuality of a higher order of being and the birthing of that higher order into the entire race. That's not, if we read the newspapers, that's not where we see the attention is, right? So you're not responsible for fixing all of that. You're responsible for the vibration that's coming from you and what you're giving out into the world. And God is responsible for the rebirthing of the world. And when we get enough critical mass, souls who are awakened to the higher order of being, who are awakened to love and harmony as the first law of the universe. Judge Thomas Tower said harmony is the first law of the universe, because if there were something that could rise up and destroy eternality, eternality would not be eternity, right? So God's in charge. The Spirit itself, the intelligence, the giver of all life and beauty, is in charge. What we are supposed to do is be that quality as ourselves in the world. How can I bring whatever you're identifying with is what are the great joys of life? Love and joy and peace and belonging and connection and kindness and laughter and beauty and all of those qualities. We are the ones who choose them. And then we must bring ourselves to vibrate so that that quality is coming from our thought atmosphere, from the actual energy that's happening around us. And we can diminish that energy by opening the door to melancholy and letting it dwell, or we can turn our attention to that which we mean. Good and more good is mine. There's no limit to the good that is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this good. I feel it. It crowds itself against me. And I am responsible for the vibration that's coming from me. And then so there's a very simple way to frame the prayer. And that was simply, and God or Spirit, help me to do my part. Today is the day the Lord has made. I am rejoiced and glad in it. Help me to be a beneficial presence in the world so that my vibration and therefore my fulfillment is not contingent upon what everybody else is doing, because I'm paying attention to the higher design, not the design of mankind or humankind or the engineering of humankind. No, the design from on high, that I'm an immortal spiritual being forever and ever expanding according to the will of my Father, Mother God, the source of my life, the I am that I am. Whether we call it source or God or energy or spirit, as I often say, God doesn't really care what you call it. It only cares that you call. And so this is ours to do. Let me take care of my arena. Let me take care of my world. And that's my responsibility, so that I can be offering the highest vibration into the whole field and comfortably live my life and fulfill my purpose. So yes, we can be aware of the challenges in the world, and we can wish the race its awakening. We can wish for the new day, the new dawn, that the greatest amount of the people will one day create the critical mass to reveal this higher order for all people. And yet mine is to be able to see through the mist into the eternal and changeless reality today, to be the place where I can offer my highest vibration, that Spirit and I, because of my practice, because of my commingling, because of my awareness that I belong to the One, can bring the highest vibration into the world today. As the Dalai Lama said, he may be a Buddhist, but his true religion is kindness, right? And I think that he's got something there, that no matter what path we got to our spiritual awareness, mine is to bring as much love, light, and joy and kindness and caring and compassion into the world as I can. And that will cause my life to be fulfilled even in the midst of the chaos in the world. It doesn't mean that I can't participate and do my part in whatever direction I think is right, that I can make a contribution. But the highest contribution you can make and the highest good you can do is do the maintenance so that your vibration is higher and better and more peaceful and more poised and more confident and more alive and more joyous in each and every day. That this is the day to renew my mind, my body, and my experience in the One, as the One, with the One, for the One. And it's that simple. I can comfortably live my life and fulfill my purpose, even as I support the entire race in rising up to a higher level of being. So, my friends, it's my honor and privilege to be with you in this day. I'm encouraging you to go to the wellspring, to listen to the bubbles, to follow and rise up, because the joy is always enough. So thank you for sharing your time and energy with me today. My honor to be with you, for it's always a great joy to be with like-minded souls and those who are reaching up to make today a better day and to make the world a better place. Thank you for being you. And until we meet again, I invite you to go in the light, as the light, and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. And there's Lance.
Thanks, Dr. Harry. What an awesome talk this morning, and some great guidance for daily practical practice.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's what does it. That's the key. When we have a practice, then we can actually recognize our own vibration when we're either vibrating high or low, right?
Right.
And then you say, well, I'd rather vibrate high. So, well, you better then you better have some practice to do that.
Absolutely. So you can join us later in just a little bit. Dr. Harry will be over on Zoom. So if you're not on Zoom, you're watching on some other streaming platform, come over to the Zoom channel, CSLMidtown.org, and scroll down to the bottom, click the Zoom link, and use the passcode to get into that. So now I'm going to do our new minister Sacred Covenant Easy Prayer. There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to express spirit, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of spirit as principle. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God. For it is written, principle is not bound by precedent. It operates according to law, and it is always available to those who are willing to align themselves with it. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister before me as inspiring spiritual oneness through wisdom, love, and authenticity. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself, for I am inspired to live as love in the expression of principle. I am awakening the wisdom within me by clearly communicating the principles of universal truth. I am a conduit of divine love, wisdom, and healing energy, recognizing the inherent wholeness within all beings. I am offering teachings, classes, and mystical studies grounded in spiritual principles to cultivate inner wisdom, personal transformation, and empowered living. I am extending the love, compassion, and transformative power of spirit into the wider community, fostering connections that heal, uplift, and support individuals in their unique journeys. As I now accept the expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they will be revealed in a way that will express spirit and serve the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful God is gracious, and so it is. And it's now time for our conscious giving. You can donate online at cslmidtown.org/donate. We appreciate all of you who come each and every Sunday and donate regularly. And those who do are greatly benefited by being a part of this community. So if you will, say with me our affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. And now we've got a few announcements. Next week, we have the Reverend Dr. Jerry Troyer speaking to us. Mission Possible as a Little Child is his talk title. Every Sunday, we have the adult study group starting at 10 a.m. You can join us on the Zoom for that. They're going through the Science of Mind textbook, so you can come read along or just come and participate in that however you choose to be there. We got our auction coming. We're taking donations now. You can go to the website. There's an orange banner bar that will take you, when you click the link, directly to the site for creating donations, and that's going to go live on October 1st for people to buy those things that people have donated. So take a look at that. And you can download the New Minister's Sacred Covenant Easy Prayer from the CSL Midtown website as well. So lots of things going on. We are glad you're here. Let's do our affirmation of life and then join Dr. Harry on our Zoom call. I leave this place now knowing something better than I knew before. I go forth into the world with a heart full of love and a mind full of good sense. I look at the world in a greater way, knowing that I have within me everything I need to create the life I desire. I give thanks for this understanding, and I am grateful for the spirit of life that lives through me. And so it is. Thanks, everybody, and have a great week.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I just count my blessings. I just count my blessings.
There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use